Greetings once again. I'm back with another video. Like I promised you, I'm gonna show you how to answer this frequently asked questions on trigonometric graphs, and this section is usually 8 to 10 marks. I just want you to collect all those 8 marks or all those 10 marks, and don't mind the speakers changing. Sometimes when I'm holding this phone, I just happen to be holding on the speakers, so don't mind the change in voice or the changing, or if you're listening on headset, sometimes you might encounter that one headset is working and the other is not. After some time they are both working, and so on and so on. This phone is so slim, so that if I hold it this way, I sometimes happen to hold the speakers of it. So forgive me for that. Let's start here. I hope you can see there. It says the graphs of y is equals to sine x and g is equals to 2 cos x are sketched below. From the interval negative 180 degrees to 180 degrees, from negative 180 degrees to positive 180 degrees, in that way. So just by looking here, you can see that this sine graph, they haven't done something to it, but this cos graph here, the amplitude of this graph here, you can see is true, and I told you the number in front of this function is always your amplitude. And let's answer this question here. It says write down the period of g. I told you to find the period of g. You just take the 360 degrees and divide it by the frequency, and I told you that the frequency is the number in front of x. Here the number in front of x, it is just 1, so just say 360 degrees divide by 1, it will give you 360 degrees. So this is the period there, 360 degrees. And 1.2 says write down the domain of y. Like I told you in functions, the domain is all the possible x values of a function, and the domain of y, you can see that x can be any number. It can be the element of real numbers. X can be the element of real numbers. But what if they asked you to write down the range of this graph here? You just say that the range is between, I don't know if I should write it here, or let me write this way. If they ask you about the range, you just say the range is the element of all the real numbers between negative 2 and 2, and here I made a mistake. It's supposed to cross here, it's supposed to come here at negative 2, but I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say here. And range is between negative 2 and 2. This is the range of g of y, of g rather. And 1.3 says for which values of x in the interval negative 180 degrees to 180 degrees is y greater than 0. Y is this function here in pencil. This is y. Why is y greater than 0? Or which values of x is the y values of y greater than 0? You can see that they are greater than 0 from 0 to 180 degrees. From 0 to 180 degrees, you will get all positive y values. So to answer this question, you just say x is greater than 0. Because if you put in values greater than 0 in this interval, you'll get positive y values. And for which values of x is y less than 0? Y is less than 0 from this point up to this point. So we're going to say y is less than 0 when the x values are from 0 to, let's just say x values are less than 0. So when x values are less than 0, we will get negative y values for y there. So for which values of x is g greater than 0? G is this blue graph here. When is it greater than 0? We can see it's greater than 0 from this point here, 90 degrees to, from negative 90 degrees to 90 degrees. So you can see when x is the element of, starting from, let me use round brackets, you'll see minus 90 degrees to 90 degrees there. The reason I'm using this round brackets is that I do not involve negative 90 and 90, but the x values are between. If I involved negative 90 and 90, I would have used square brackets there. And for which values of x is g greater than y? G greater than y. G is this graph here and y is this graph here. When is it that g is greater than y? What this is saying is that what are the y values of y? What are the y values of g that are greater than y? Where is it that portion? We can see the y values from this point here, negative 135. From negative 135 to 65 degrees here. From negative 135 to 65 degrees here, we can see that g is above this graph of y. G is above this graph of y. So we can say from x is the element of, again I'm using round brackets, from negative 135 degrees to 65 degrees there. This is 65 degrees here. And yeah, let's move on. For which values of x is y above g? Y is above g from this portion here, from 65 degrees to 180 degrees. This is where y is above g. So to answer this question, you just say x is greater than 65 degrees. If you put in values that are greater than 65 degrees only in this interval, you'll get that all the y values you get here will be greater than the y values you get here for that interval. We are done here. I think from the next videos I'll be posting I will be doing past papers on trig and how to answer those questions. And yeah, I believe I will see you in the next video. I also hope that you do get the idea of what we are doing here. Yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.